Good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Jason Miles, here for another episode of This is Revolution Podcast. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Glad to have you here. If you like what we're doing, please hit like and subscribe. It is a very passive gesture that goes a long way in promoting this channel. If you are a returning listener, subscriber, or one of our very valued patrons, hell yeah! It is such a great feeling to have you guys here. A quick reminder that we will be watching movies this week on TIR on Wednesday after our main show on Milton Friedman and the Chicago School with Professor Alexander Herbert. We're going to watch one of my favorite films, Better Off Dead, the 1985 classic. Also, big shout out to legendary metal pioneer David Ellefson for coming on this past Sunday and staying on with us a lot longer than expected. It was a good time where we discussed his time in music, pioneering the thrash genre, and how fans love you but want you suspended in a state of perpetual youthfulness, not truly appreciating a maturing musical palette. If you'd like to join us for these movie night watch parties or champagne room shenanigans, there is one easy way. Become a patron or a paid YouTube subscriber. You'll get access to the champagne room. Join us for movie night. And as a patron, if you can't make it, you'll get to watch the movie night replay filled with all of the in-movie banter of the extended TIR family. By becoming a paid YouTube subscriber or patron, you can make sure that TIR can continue to stay on the air, producing irreverent, intelligent, and insane programming such as this. But you guys are here to talk about idiot interviewers and the podcast sphere. As I've often said with my documentary series on Means TV, Kayfabe, we are living in a permanent state of political theater. The old Denzians of respectability and fairness in reporting have been replaced by something much worse. The avatar of the average Joe asking so-called regular people questions. Today's media interlocutor is at best a ChatGPT Wikipedia researcher, less concerned with the quality of an interview or genuine subject knowledge, and more concerned with the size of the guest. That didn't sound right, but the size of the guest's audience is what I meant. And you people have dirty minds. The potential for a clippable moment and whether the interview can grow their audience. True intellectual inquiry has been replaced by a late 90s Adam Sandler style tomfoolery. These figures are often less partisan than people imagine. They don't really operate from a political ideology so much as from vibes. And in the end, isn't it all about vibes, right? As our guest today, Nathan Robinson, writes in his latest for Current Affairs, quote, Theo Von is better than Rogan, Friedman, and the Nelks in that he seems to have a decent amount of common sense and empathy. He's a Bernie fan. But it's very clear he's out of his depth talking to someone like J.D. Vance, a brilliant politician who has mastered the art of talking eloquently while saying very little. It takes a good interrogator armed with facts, stats, and research to deal with such a person. Look, I wouldn't want to interview J.D. Vance myself without a lot of prep work. You have to go into these things understanding that politicians are trying to spin you, and they're good at it. Unfortunately, these independent podcasters speak to odious right-wing figures and are terrible at challenging them. Sometimes that's because, as with Rogan and Trump, they actually share the prejudices and misconceptions of the right-wing political figure. Other times, as with Vaughn, they disagree, but haven't read enough books or practiced the art of critical questioning, unquote. That is from Nathan's piece in Current Affairs, wherever you're watching or later listening to this show in the audio-only podcast. There is a link to the article. To join in this discussion with Nathan with me is the voice of reason, M. Toussaint.
Well, hello. I'd like to say, firstly, happy birthday, Jason.
Hey! It's not every day a man turns 48.
48?
Yeah.
You don't look a day over 16.
Wow. You're lying, and I hate your face. Even though it can't be seen, I still hate it. But let's bring
And
in.
wait,
Oh,
wait,
sorry.
wait.
You want to say
Second thing
something?
I want to say, I am going to try very hard during the show not to say Jathan or Mason. There we go.
Jathan and Mason.
I
Okay.
apologize in advance.
Please welcome. He is the man behind Current Affairs Magazine, which celebrated recently, if I'm not mistaken, its 10-year anniversary. What an achievement. Please welcome, coming all the way live from the Big Easy, Nathan Robinson.
Hey, Jason. Hey,
Hey.
nice to be back on the show.
Hey, pleasure to have you. I do want to say congratulations on your magazine lasting as long as it has so far. Also, Jacobin had 15 years today, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's actually pretty cool. If you would have told me 30 years ago that there'd be multiple socialist physical magazines, I would have told you what.
This is the good news. Indie left media is thriving. Everything else is falling apart, but indie left media is holding on. We have a print magazine. That's what we've got.
Well, we have that and Andor.
Sure. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got a couple of pop culture properties with subtle anti-capitalist themes.
Yeah, yeah, subtle. I'm glad you put subtle in. Tucson, did you want to? I know you've been wanting to talk to Nathan about this. Did you want to start off with a question for our guest?
I do. I really enjoyed your piece, actually. I listened to it on your podcast and then I watched it again on YouTube. I want to know, what do you think about why do people want to hear interviews from idiots?
Damn.
What is that about? Is that about failing institutions, mistrust of mainstream media, or not wanting to hear from experts?
You know, this is a difficult question to put to me in particular because I found when I was watching these things that there is nothing that I would rather hear less. Like it was very difficult for me to put myself in the shoes of the audience for a you know a 2 hour Lex Friedman Donald Trump exchange, because for me that's like what they would play in my Guantanamo cell, right? To like to torment me. It's just like a never-ending 24-hour Lex Friedman podcast. And so understanding why people listen to this when it's excruciating for me, when I'm literally sitting there in pain going like, why don't you ask him a real question? Is a little bit hard. I mean, in some cases there are obvious answers. Like Theo Von is funny, and he's kind of relatable, and oftentimes, you know, the parasocial aspect of podcasts, where these are like a guy you'd want to hang out with, and this is like a hanging out thing. And this is like, hey, he's a stand-in for you, and he's hanging out with the president. So this is kind of like what it would be like if you were hanging out with the president, and you're not much smarter than, you know, Lex Friedman, Theo Von. So it's a good like audience stand-in. I think one of the things that people like about interviewers who don't know very much is that they really do like take the place of the audience, and so like it's kind of like you're there.
Well, I feel like we're living in this permanent state of political theater. What does that mean for democracy? Is politics now more about performance than actual substance?
Well, I'm always hesitant to say things like "is now" as if there was some
Great
golden
time.
age of substance to look back on. It does seem to be getting worse. I mean, if I look over American history, I see, you know, I wouldn't look at you know, the 1968 election as like a battle of ideas between two serious intellectuals, right? These are races between two repugnant people who are demagoguing. But it has gotten rather worse because Donald Trump obviously comes out of television and has used some of the techniques of introduced some of the techniques of pro wrestling into American politics, which I don't think has been good for it. Although I'm not entirely against like showmanship. Well, actually, one of the things I like about your podcast is you bring the showmanship.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. Thank you very much. We try to make this a real deal show. But that being said, there's also people that I won't talk to, right? I have a political ideology and just a certain level of morals. And
You not had Netanyahu on?
no, I'm not in a hurry. And I would be really shocked if he wanted to come on the show. I mean, you know, even from a very small perspective, I don't know if people really understand what it's like when you interview bigger people, when you have to talk to, let's say, assistants first, or their comms people first, depending on a certain level of politician that you're talking to. You need to give them the questions you're asking. Those have to be approved. So I feel real confident that a person like Netanyahu, it wouldn't benefit him to come on the show.
Right.
And that's another thing that I don't know if people really understand. Like there always has to be a benefit why people go on your show. It's just not because you're cool. Like no one's that cool. You know what I mean? There has to be some sort of material thing that you're giving these people.
That's a really important point, Jason, and that's one of the things I discuss in the article is the way that, you know, if a major politician is coming on your podcast, if the president or the vice president of the United States, you really ought to think, you know, what are they getting out of this? Are they using me? And in the case of the Nelk boys, which I discussed, their interview with Netanyahu, like it was very obvious that Netanyahu was trying to use their ignorance to push propaganda, knowing he found a friendly forum, he found people he knew wouldn't be able to challenge him. They fed his team fed the interviewers the questions beforehand. And so you are becoming, I discussed this in the article, you have to be wary of whether you are becoming part of someone's PR apparatus.
Tucson, did you want to follow that up with a question?
I thought it was interesting that they were given the questions, and they didn't seem to think much of that. Also, the interview was arranged for them, like by the White House.
Yes. The White House came to them and they said, "Hey, Nelk boys, we have a guest for you. It's a big get. Would you want this big? Do you want this prestigious guest, Benjamin Netanyahu? We'll even give you the questions." And they were probably actually delighted to get the questions because it meant they didn't have to think of questions.
Oh yeah, yeah. The show's done for you. Like, do you feel? How can I put this? I kind of said this in the introduction. I feel like they don't care about that kind of show or think deeply about any show like that because I think they probably hate a certain aspect of the internet. Probably see it as reactionary if they even see the quote unquote what they find reactionary in regards to these Nelk boys. And number two, it's just one of those things where even if they F up in the interview, it's still going to be clippable. It's still going to bring eyeballs to the shows. The view numbers are still going to be up. Even in losing, you win if you're looking at it from that perspective.
Yeah. Well, I think that's usually the case. I think in the Nelk case, ultimately it did not quite work out for them because they got so much negative blowback from their own fan base that they actually lost subscribers as a result of that interview. So normally you would say, well, like even if it's terrible, that you're still getting the clicks and you're still benefiting from this. And I'm sure they made some money off of it because it did get a lot of views. But it got so much backlash that I actually think they damaged their reputation with their own fans, many of whom are not in fact pro Netanyahu. In some cases it doesn't. You can say almost always it pays off, but in this case I don't actually think it paid off.
Is it because with what we're seeing in Gaza, this is kind of not just I don't want to say mask off moment, but there's been an ideological change in the way people understand this relationship in the Middle East. I mean, for years, for me growing up, It was always, that's the Middle East. They've been fighting for years. It's just a thing they do, and people kind of turned a blind eye to it. And there was a small segment of the population that always spoke out about it. But now, because we're seeing it live streamed, and this isn't really the first time we've seen a lot of this violence online. In 2018, when they were sniping reporters, we saw a lot of that. In 2014, we saw a lot of that, but not to this level, it feels like.
Yeah.
And it feels like even more people that we would call right wing, and we can get into that whole thing later, because I don't really feel that a lot of these people are truly right wing in the way we want to say right wing and conservative. But even they are like, this is too much, this has to stop, and trying to have some sort of washing of Netanyahu's reputation just can't be done, even with the cool kids of the internet.
Well, yeah, I think you're right. I mean, we know that Marjorie Taylor Greene called it what's happening in Gaza genocide, which was a little surprising. We know that Trump told a group of pro-Israel donors that MAGA is starting to hate Israel. And we know that Tucker Carlson, who was, for a long time one of the, and I think still considers himself kind of allied with the president, he's been having guests on who are very, very critical of Israel. And I think for the first time ever, certainly in our lifetimes, we're seeing a crack in the Republican consensus, pro-Israel consensus, right? So the Democratic pro-Israel consensus was crumbling before October 7th. And Norma Finkelstein wrote a book 2018 called Knowing Too Much, Why the American Jewish Romance with Israel is Coming to an End. And he was documenting the trend of especially young Jewish people who were overwhelmingly Democrats of turning against Israel. But now we're finally seeing something which is quite different and kind of shocking, which is people with an R next to their name criticizing Israel, which I've never seen before ever.
Yes. Yeah, that's what's so I don't want to say strange, but kind of eye-opening to me, even with Marjorie Taylor Greene's big, we're going to call this a genocide. AOC isn't calling this a genocide, but I'm going to call it a genocide. Is that endearing her with a certain segment of the left?
I don't know. I mean, she probably is not going to get many points on the left. But it is the case that the politicians who do this, they see the public opinion polls. They see that the overwhelming majority of the American people are horrified by what Israel is doing to Gaza. And, they understand that at a certain point, I mean, I think this is like the Vietnam War. This is like the Iraq War, where I operate from a baseline assumption that most politicians are not particularly principled and are mostly concerned with their own re-election. I mean, they have ideologies, but you can definitely see that when it is no longer in their self-interest to pursue the thing that they might pursue ideologically, when it becomes clear that electorally you might spark a backlash by supporting a deeply unpopular genocidal war, you start to see a lot of people who you wouldn't assume would be principled and who weren't principled back when it would have had a political cost to oppose it, all of a sudden become deeply anti-genocide.
Tucson, did you want to follow up with that?
I think there are a lot of people who don't, I guess, recognize that we're in a post-October 7th world. They still think we're going to reset to how things were before. And I think that's a gamble, and those people are losing. Things are different now.
Oh, we're not coming back.
Yeah, people know too much, I think.
I think that's right. I mean, it's been quite striking, because Current Affairs has always published a lot of pro-Palestine stuff, and we've often been, on the left, when you're doing pro-Palestine a commentary and an analysis, it feels very, very lonely, and you used to get a ton of blowback. And I've noticed the blowback has kind of diminished, and there's a lot more people who are saying, Yes, exactly. Of course, this is obvious. Everyone knows this. It's gone from like, this is outrageous to like, well, you're just saying the thing we already know because we can all see this happening in front of our eyes, which has been, you know, for me, kind of a shock. I mean, a much welcome shift because that's what you want. You want people to understand what is actually happening. But it does feel like we can't possibly go back. I mean, especially because one of the shocking things about well, the actual surprising things about Israel's behavior is that the government of Israel is so bad at propaganda, right? They are so bad now I mean, they don't even care. They don't even seem to be trying to convince anyone that they're not committing a genocide. Like they have ministers going out and saying, like, our plan is to get everyone out of Gaza and to flatten the place and colonize it. So you're not going to convince anyone after that.
Yeah, I think this regime in Israel right now is just so far to the right. And it feels like no U.S. party is either trying or can really get a handle on it. And to Toussaint's point about a return to pre October 7th Israel Palestine, I don't think that's happening. I think this is something that we have never seen in our lifetimes. I really do believe that the closest thing we can get to this is what happened in Germany in World War II. I don't know if you agree with that.
I mean, I don't know where it's going or how we can. I mean, the future is more unknowable to me than ever. But one of the things that I have noticed is that U.S. politicians often, in order to defend Israel when it was doing indefensible things, depended on the Israeli government at least providing this kind of rhetorical fig leaf where they would say, well, we're very committed to the peace process. We, of course, believe eventually in a two-state solution, but not yet. And there have to be the right terms, and there have to be negotiations, and they just drag out the negotiations. Meanwhile, they're built, 100,000, 200,000 more people are moving into settlements. And what that did was it allowed U.S. politicians to preserve the myth that Israel was something other than a racist apartheid state. And one of the things that's happened now is that the Israeli government has said, essentially, we are a racist apartheid state. I mean, you had, I think, Smotrich coming out recently and saying, like, people talk about the Palestinian dream, but we are building the Jewish reality in all of Israel. And by all of Israel, they mean including the West Bank, including Gaza. Like, they're just very, very clear in the way that, white supremacists are clear that they believe in ruling over the Palestinian Arab population and disenfranchising them. And when they do that, it makes it totally impossible for U.S. politicians to defend Israel, which they need to do. They want to defend Israel. They want help from the Israeli government to defend.
They really can't. Is it more dangerous, in your opinion, when public figures operate on vibes rather than an actual ideology, or is that just simply how most politics has always worked, and it's just more visible now?
It's funny. I do think about that sometimes where I'm like, do I want like ideologues or do I actually prefer it when people have no principles because you can push them in one direction or the other, right? Because if we can change the vibes, like unprincipled people will come on board. You want to fight opportunists rather than fascists because opportunists, if you can make it in their interest to come on board with you, they'll go whichever way the wind is blowing. I mean, I think of like every time I see Pete Buttigieg talk, right? It's very clear that in his head, he's like calculating like, what is the thing that is politically optimal for me to believe at this given moment? And in some ways that means, well, good, because like if we can make it politically optimal to be a leftist, he will pretend to be a leftist.
Do you think that's where he's pivoting right now?
Well, there was an interesting thing where he clearly miscalculated the political moment, right? Because he gave an interview where he was asked about Israel-Palestine. He gave his typical McKinseyite word salad answer. Then he got a huge backlash, and then he backpedaled, and then he was like, "Oh no! I mean, obviously there are crimes, and obviously it's bad."
Do you think he has political? And then this is all speculation. Do you think he has political ambitions still, or do you think he wants
ambitions? Yes. Oh God,
you think he
yes.
has political ambitions?
That's the kind of guy you're never going to be rid of.
He doesn't have maybe show business ambitions now to be a CNN anchor for the next 45 years.
The problem is he has no charisma.
Oof.
I don't think he's a good. Would anyone? I don't know.
I mean, look,
I think he wants to be president
I
still.
don't want to watch, but Tucson, did you want to follow up?
I agree. I think he wants to be president. He's going to run as soon as he can.
Yeah.
I'd like to revisit the Nelk Boys interview.
Yeah, please.
Because I felt like I watched the footage of the actual interview. I didn't watch the whole thing, but the clips and the reactions. And I watched, they even did a series of reactions with other people afterwards to capitalize even more off of the fact that they had Netanyahu on their show. Even though all of these people were trashing them, Nick Fuentes was like, this was a terrible idea. When Nick Fuentes is telling you, you made a very stupid move and have a very bad idea, then I think you have a bad idea. But there was a lot going on in the footage that I saw. So I'll say, first of all, I hate the name. Now, boys, just it's the first letter of a couple of their names. I hate it. Then the boys part. I want to talk about this. I don't know if you know. I am a Black woman. Maybe this is just how I see things, but I'm not into privileged discourse. But they just seem pretty privileged. Privileged, even in the fact that they still call themselves boys. They're not that much younger than you. I don't know how you feel about that. I don't see you calling yourself a boy. But these guys, they still kind of act like it. And for some people, they've kind of been like let off the hook a little bit. Just kind of the way they responded, like, oh, we're stupid. We don't know.
I did think Theo Vaughn was like 23 and he's like 45.
Theo Vaughn's been around forever, dude. He just hasn't been funny for a long time.
I mean, he looks. I mean, these. I think you're right. You're onto something here with this. Like, it's like it helps them create an image of innocence and therefore escape responsibility, right? Because if you're just like, well, I'm just a boy, we're just like frat bros, like we don't know anything about geopolitics. You know, when they were interviewed about this, they basically said, you know, well, we're just like, we're not journalists, we're just some guys, you know, we're just like, we're boys, right? And it's like, no, you are adults who are you are media figures who are interviewing the prime minister of a country that has been accused of war crimes. That is the actual situation. But yes, you're right. There is something in even the use of the term boys that is irritating in the way that it helps them evade responsibility for anything they do.
Absolutely. And I think that they kind of played like, oh, we just want both sides. But I think that they're Zionists also. They just kind of didn't want to let on. I also is like money, fame, clout chasing. They try to do the centrist thing, but they're actually kind of right wing. And then they try to play it like we have a cliffhanger because we are going to do both sides. So tune in next week, guys. We're going to have a real live Palestinian.
Jesus Christ. DJ Khaled?
Yeah. We the best.
Jesus Christ. Is that the problem with a certain kind of person jumping into this world? Because everything, you know, up is down, left is purple. Like everything is so different right now that I'm not opining for the days of like, you know, Dan Rather to interview everybody. I'm just asking a question that, you know, when you have people that would much rather talk about titties than genocide.
Yeah, I mean, I had to be careful in writing this article not to sound like nostalgic for like the CNN of 2003 when we when we know how bad the reporting in the lead up to the Iraq War was. We know that they didn't have any Iraqis on to talk about the conflict. So you have to be a little careful because in some ways it's not worse. I think what's so annoying is like if you are the type of person who would rather talk about titties than genocide, as you say, that's fine. But then talk about titties. Don't talk about genocide, right? Because the moment you start talking about genocide, then you have a responsibility to start doing some research.
I'm gonna go back to the titties though. And you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do what Jon Stewart did. And you remember this. Our mutual friend Ben Burgess wrote about this.
Yeah.
Once you've called me out on my futility, I just talk about titties.
Yeah.
That's my job. Large areolas and nips. That's what I talk about. I don't care about what goes on over there. It was just a popular thing. That's what I see. And again, I'm with you on the whole. Let's not act like MSNBC was the end all be all.
I think you mean MS Now.
Yeah. Well, look, man. I'm in the past, brother. I'm old. You're young.
He's not a boy.
Not a boy though.
Well, that's what's so funny. To your boy point, those guys was wearing a suit. They were going out of their way to look like professionals.
Yeah, but they did look like a boy in his first suit,
right? With a clip-on tie, first communion. What does it take to interview a skilled politician like a JD Vance effectively? Is it even possible in a culture dominated by these clippable moments?
Well, I think you can interview people effectively. I watched Crystal Ball interview Alyssa Slotkin recently, which was, I mean, she had a United States senator on, and she came prepared. She knew what Slotkin would say. She knew all the ways she'd dodge and weave. She did follow-ups. I mean, one of the things that Vaughn didn't do with Vance was Vaughn said, this is, what about this genocide thing? I mean, I don't know. Some people think it's a genocide. And Vance was like, it's not a genocide because they're not trying to kill everyone. And of course, that's not the definition of a genocide. So if you're a good interviewer, you go, well, that's not the definition of a genocide. You don't have to be trying to kill every single person in order for it to be a genocide. So there are things that Crystal Ball would have done, if you think about how Crystal Ball would interview JD Vance, that Theo Vaughn didn't do. So yeah, you could do it. There are things that if you watch like Mehdi Hassan interviewing Vivek Ramaswamy. He did a really, really good job where Ramaswamy wouldn't criticize Trump on anything. And Mehdi Hassan would say, well, you said these things about January 6th. Do you still believe these things? Ramaswamy dodged and weaved. And Mehdi Hassan said, that's not an answer. You're not answering the question. Right? So there are things that you do when you're a good journalist interviewing someone and that this person is feeding you bullshit. And you go, well, I'm sorry, but that's bullshit. So could you give me an answer that isn't bullshit? And then the audience sees that they're bullshitting and you're a good interviewer. So yeah, you can do it.
But Crystal Ball and Mehdi Hassan are professional people that actually did work in the professional media machine. They live in DC. I can't speak for Mehdi. I think Crystal's still in DC, which is where the media political machine is. Even their show isn't, it's in a studio with professional lighting. They have assistants. It's not to shit on them at all. It's to kind of paint a picture that these people, even after they left and went independent media, it looks just like mainstream media, probably with better interlocutors. But I guess what I'm asking is, when the Netanyahus of the world, when the Trumps of the world want to talk to a media personality who actually has reach that's verifiable, you're going to go to the top shows. And those top shows are Tucker Carlson, Joe Rogan, Theo Vaughn. For a minute, it was a young lady that talked about spitting on junk. These were the top shows that everybody was listening to. So, and I'm not, that's where they're going to go because you can easily control the conversation. Crystal and Mehdi, those are MSN. Those are the guys that they got kicked out of the White House press briefings years ago.
Yeah.
They don't want to be anywhere near them.
I know. Well, right. So if you are a media figure who interviews politicians, you basically should. The measure of whether you're good at your job is whether they avoid you. If they avoid you, if it's really difficult to get them on your show, then you're a really good interviewer.
Mhm.
If it's really easy to get them, if all of them want to come on your show, then you're not a good interviewer because clearly you're not challenging people on anything. So yeah, they want to go on all those shows, and I think we can see that those people aren't good interviewers, and they should recognize that when the Nelk boys look at themselves in the mirror, and they kind of did, because in their, in their reaction, when they were talking about it, they were like, yeah, we're not very good journalists. They're like, well, I guess we're not good at this. I guess it was as if we had Adolf Hitler on our show. Like, that's what they said.
I mean, that Mark Maron bit, I'm sure you saw that clip of Mark Maron in his stand-up special talking about Hitler would love to talk to Theo Von because Hitler, you like to do the math. Like that was kind of a funny bit because that's what these guys are, kind of back to the whole thing I said in the introduction about they're just and you said it too, they're just regular people. It's like, look, I'm not opposed to regular people, of course, asking these questions, but if you're going to go out of your way to not be serious and tell JD Vance you miss when cocaine was more pure, which I think is horse shit. It's like, come on, Theo Von, you're just snorting Adderall anyway. It's cheaper, it's easier to get, and you're not going to get all fucked up behind it like you were with crack 25 years ago. So it seems to be that this is worse than the Jon Stewart, Stephen Colbert stuff that Ben was talking about in his book, like 3-4 years ago, canceling comedians. These are guys that are just not serious whatsoever, don't want to be. But are they? I guess my bigger question
That's
is,
the problem.
are they?
It's fine to not be serious. No one's making you be a serious person. It's conditional. It's if you're going to interview the vice president of the United States, that comes along with responsibilities, right? If you're going to have a part, if Joe Rogan didn't touch politics, right? And he just talked about exercise, and even if he talked about like ancient aliens and the other bullshit, and how Atlantis is real. Like I don't care very much about that. The problem is that when you're interviewing the president of the United States, that comes along with certain responsibilities. That, namely, the responsibility to educate yourself on the issues that you will be discussing with the president of the United States.
You would think. Toussaint, do you want to follow up? Voice of reason. Do you want to? poor Nathan is he's so we stressed him out.
I just want to say, for the record, I am not an idiot interviewer. I did do my research. Thank you. Nathan J. Robinson was born to 2 British human parents, and then he moved to Florida. The J
As
in
he
Nathan J.
scrolls
Robinson.
Wikipedia in real time.
The J in Nathan J. Robinson stands for Robinette. I don't know if you knew that.
Jesus. Stands for Robinette.
How do you find this stuff? Nobody knows.
My next question for you is, what drives you more, love of winning or hate of losing?
I see you've learned from the best. I see that you've studied the masters of the craft, namely, I detect a little Friedmanite influence, not Milton, but Lex.
What do you mean?
Like, seriously, dude, where the fuck did that guy come from?
What do you make of him as a person with legitimate degrees? What do you think of Lex Friedman?
There's some very interesting YouTube videos about him and how mysterious his like background is and how he's basically just Elon Musk's friend. But one of the shocking things about his success is that he's the most dull man imaginable. Like he is soporific. Like that is a voice that I just puts me to sleep. That man has no energy. That man's questions are so stupid.
Yeah.
He's always like, I think he interviewed Zelensky, and he was like, what, like, ask questions like, why can't, but like, why can't Russia and Ukraine just like, why can't they just like get along? Like,
Sure.
why can't we all just like live? Do you dream of a world where people all just like they get along? Like, that's the sort of thing he asked.
Like,
Well, let me ask this. You have people like Mark Maron coming out and really just criticizing not just Theo Vaughn, but the Rogan sphere. He is on tour on different comedy podcasts, just going after all of Joe Rogan's people. They seem to be, I don't know, maybe losing favor a bit. What do you think the future is for these people?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I think they're gonna. I, I I worry. I mean, I'd like to predict their downfall, but I can't because the things I hate most in the world tend to sort of, be unkillable. Um, I know that at a
roaches.
certain point, like history moves on. Who were the most popular radio hosts of 1952? Like, no one's ever heard of them now. So hopefully, like, eventually, something else will rise, and these people will be forgotten. Um, but I don't know. They have an awfully large audience, and that audience seems to continue to grow and not be going away.
I was going to ask you that. Do you think that this effect that they have, or influence that they have in the era of just kind of being stuck in your own bubble of you? It's really hard that we're out. There's no mass culture, right? So if you listen to Joe Rogan, you're going to listen to more Joe Rogan. You're going to listen to more stuff next to Joe Rogan. Do you think this has some
Oh my god!
negative, or do you think people
Do I think it
still
has a negative effect?
negative? Do you think the influence is as big as people think it is?
I mean, it seems to be. I mean, Donald Trump is the president of the United States again. Uh, he got a lot of votes from a lot of people. Millions of people watched him on Joe Rogan's podcast and watched him on Theo Vaughn's podcast as he spewed the usual bunch of nonsense. And then they voted for him to be the most powerful man in the world. So, yeah, I can't really say the influence is declining.
I mean, millions of people watched Bernie Sanders on Joe Rogan's podcast, and millions of people watched Cornel West on Joe Rogan's podcast. Now, I will add that those were two out of a gajillion people that don't sound like them on that show, but they had massive clippable moments that definitely went viral outside of the left sphere.
Yeah. And that was a good thing. I mean, I've always felt, I mean, Ben Burgess went on Joe Rogan's podcast. And he was criticized by some people. But I do think that you've got to take those opportunities. And Bernie, of course, was criticized heavily for doing it.
Mhm.
But I think it was worth it because as long as those people have an audience, and I've said the same thing about going on Fox News, like people like Katie Halper's gone on Fox News before to argue about Israel. And I think it's worth doing because, as you say, because everyone lives in their little bubble, and if they listen to Joe Rogan, they're never going to hear. They're never going to hear your voice, right?
Yeah.
So they're not. It's not that they've tried this podcast and they don't like it. They're never even going to know it exists. There's going to be no way for them to find it. It's just not going to enter their consciousness. So if you get a chance to go and talk to that audience and say a few things, I think you should take it.
Mm-hmm. But that's the thing, though. It's like Joe Rogan's definitely doesn't want me on because I have to say or do something that would be beneficial to him. And I felt like there was a bit of campaigning with even like Crystal and Sagar to say really good things about Joe Rogan to eventually be like, hey,
Yeah.
this person says something. With Ben, he wrote a book that kind of resonated with the way he felt about the internet and cancel culture. There's nothing, back to the whole benefit thing, there's nothing that would benefit him to bring a lot of us into that world because we're so antithetical to anything that they say or do. So how do we get more of these voices on there? Has even AOC been on Joe Rogan?
I don't think so. I don't think she. I have no idea whether she's been invited.
Abby Martin's been on there a few times, but you know she can go down some conspiracy rabbit holes, which is something that he digs.
Yeah. Well, and the foreign policy, I'm sure he's a little open to. But no, I mean, well, this is why it comes back to we have to build our own independent media platforms, slowly build our audiences. It's not going to be as easy because there's a lot of money behind the right. So we're always scrambling. But you and I have been for years now doing what we think is the alternative, which is, well, you try and build a community of people who crave the kind of discourse that you think ought to exist, and then you try and give them that discourse. That's what we try and do in the magazine. We figure that there is an audience for, albeit a small one, for thoughtful left writing, and sure enough, there is. So we don't reach the same kind of audience, but we reach a very good audience. I mean, I'm sure you know that your community of people is incredible. Your listeners are great.
Yeah, Toussaint, do you want to say something about our wonderful audience?
I wanted to ask what you think about this. I've been hearing a lot of people say it's not about left or right, it's about up and down. They don't even really say top and bottom, they say up and down, which is like, that's not even really approaching the class conversation. And I wonder if this all kind of plays into these idiot interviewers' hands. They're playing the middle, and I think that seems like a really safe place to be for a lot of people right now, especially if you don't want to read or learn or understand that this conflict has not been going on for 4,000 years, things like that.
What do they mean by up and down? I haven't heard
I
that.
I think they are trying to talk about the elites versus regular people,
Yeah.
but it's still like such imprecise language. I keep hearing that.
Mm.
I
And
mean,
this is yeah.
when I was in New York, we were Ben had a debate he did with what's that guy's name that wears the hat? Tim
They
Pool.
all wear
Pool?
hats. Oh.
Tim Pool. Damn, that's fucked up. They all wear hats. Tim Pool and the other guy that did the Project Veritas thing.
I don't.
O'Keefe, James O'Keefe.
Douche. Those guys were douches. But one thing that kind of, I don't know if you've ever seen that interview, but you know who was on Ben's quote unquote team was Tulsi Gabbard.
Oh yeah, what a wild
Dude.
combination of people.
Oh my god, we laughed. We were being. If you listen to that interview, you can hear me and Kuba heckling from the stands.
Who put
but
that
Tim
line up
Pool,
together?
he comes out and he goes, "I'm not left or right.
Oh, there we go.
I'm in the middle because I understand the truth, and I read Jacobin sometimes." And these guys do that thing. Like, that's their whole thing. Like, no, we're not right wingers because there's bad things that we don't like as well. But we are the true arbiters of truth because we dwell in this middle realm where the truth lies.
Well, so this is, I think they are not wrong that they are not right wing in certain ways, right? So I almost say, like, well, yeah, you're too stupid to be right. Like, you don't even have a coherent set of beliefs. Like, I mean, Joe Rogan, I see him say the opposite thing every few. Like, my point is, you're bad at finding the truth, right? So if you want to present yourself as a truth and facts guy, and you want to say, I don't have any ideology, I just want to find the truth. Let's call their bluff on that, rather than saying, like, okay, well, actually, these things you're saying are right wing. Let's call their bluff on the fact that they're not facts and truth guys, right? They're not actually getting to the truth of the matter, right? When Rogan, I talked about when Rogan was interviewing Trump about wind power, and he was going, well, it kills all the whales, and they were like, yeah, it kills all the whales, and it's like, what are you talking about? That's just a thing Trump says that isn't true. So you don't care about facts and truth. And when Theo Vaughn was interviewing JD Vance, it's like Theo Vaughn said, well, some people call it a genocide. I don't know. And it's like, no, it's a genocide. All the human rights organizations, like every single human rights organization, even the Israeli human rights organizations, call it a genocide. So it's a genocide. So if you are Mr. Centrist, I just care about the truth, then you have to actually care about the truth.
Makes sense.
Sorry, that was a rant. That
No,
was
no. I feel your frustration. I know it's late over
Just
there where you are.
That posture irritates me.
No, well, I'm equally irritated with you, Brother Nathan.
I feel like that's the kind of fire that will work really well once we get you on Jubilee.
Oh my God!
Oh, don't do that to
no.
that man.
I thought of
you know,
they should. I want to do one socialist because I wrote "Why You Should Be a Socialist," so I thought they could
Against a
surround
bunch
me
of-
with
Dude.
surround me with 20 capitalists, and I'll take them all out.
Man, okay. I watched the clips from the Mehdi Hassan thing, and that was enough for me. And I had watched some of the clips from the Sam Cedar thing, and I thought that was enough for me. Then I have like this masochistic tendency to keep watching this shit. And I have my buddy who I'm doing this kayfabe documentary with is here. We're working on some of the other episodes, and he was like, "We have to watch this Amanda Seales thing." And I watched that. It's like so fucking frustrating watching some of this shit because it's like a game show.
It is. It's really painful. I mean it.
Oh shit!
That's how upsetting.
Jubilee got him. Who knew Big Jubilee was going to get him? Oh, there he is. Are you back, Nathan? Can you hear us?
I'm with you. I'm with you.
Okay, Jubilee took you away for a second. We don't speak ill of the league.
Don't talk bad about Jubilee. No, they're very powerful. I mean, the kinds of views they're gonna. I mean, they are huge. It's kind of stunning how popular that thing is, considering that it's like. I don't know what it is. I was gonna say it's the equivalent of, but I don't even know what the equivalent of. But it's like, it is like a game show, but for ideas, like things that are actually important. Like the subjects they're discussing are actually really important. They'll discuss like abortion and religion, but it's like the most ridiculous possible format for discussing those things with the flags and the running and the
voting. Dude, it's the most not serious shit. And I feel like the people that are going on there are aspiring influencers as well. We were talking about this with Ralph Leonard when the guy was telling Mehdi Hassan that he was a fascist. He kind of had this smile.
Yeah, he was so pleased.
Yeah, I am.
He knew in that moment he was going viral. He could see his little fundraiser. He could see his little GoFundMe.
That I can't. That's kayfabe. That shit is kayfabe, dude. I don't know if you feel the same way.
Yeah, no, he was the villain of the day, and he was loving it.
But so you're telling us you would do it or you wouldn't do it?
Oh, I'd do it because one of the things I've said is like you have to just work with what exists. Like, we're competing against the world. I mean, I think it benefited Mehdi Hassan to do that show. Even though everyone turned out to be he thought he was debating conservatives and they turned to be outright Nazis, which was a little bit of an unfair surprise on Jubilee's part to go like, actually, this is one brown man versus 20 Nazis.
Poor Mehdi, man.
What a horrible surprise to inflict on him. But no, it was worth doing because like 8 million people have watched it, and the consensus is that he creamed them all.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm just not professional enough to do it because at some point I'd be like, hey man, we just have to fight. We've moved beyond words at this point and we just have to fight.
Yeah, but I'm a little bit more of an entertainer. Like you're a calm, thoughtful intellectual, and I'm a person who understands that you have to, do a song and dance.
Can somebody clip that, please? That Nathan Roberts. Because that was like the argument or not the argument, the discussion me and my buddy were having. We were watching, and I was like, I would at one point have told one of these people, you have one more time to raise your voice at me. and I'm going to get in the seat and slap the shit out of you.
Dad's mad.
Dad's mad. Exactly. Dad's mad. When Ben was debating that guy, what's his name? Haas. He was like 2 doors down, and I was like, just fucking hang up the phone. Like, fuck that dude. He's just being a dick. It's a waste of time. He wants to fight. So yeah, you guys that get into those debates with those people, I'm just like, oh, you are.
I don't know. Did you ever see? I went on Destiny's thing.
Oh shit!
So this is before he was exposed as a sex pest, but I debated Palestine with him, and it was one of the most excruciating experiences of my life.
Was this after Norm did it?
No, this was pre. I think this was pre the Finkelstein debate.
Dude, do you have anyone around you that's like, hey, just leave?
No, I had to do it. I had to do it because he said I was afraid. So
he said you were afraid. Oh shit!
He said, come on and debate me if you feel so. Because I said that he clearly hadn't read a single book about the Israel-Palestine conflict, which he hasn't because he doesn't read books. He doesn't have the attention span to read a book.
Hey, Toussaint, you know what Nate just told us before we go? We have to call him out. Nate is one of them hood dudes out there in Louisiana because he's like, hey, he called me a punk and I don't appreciate that shit. I don't know who you thought you was fucking with. I don't know who you thought you was fucking with.
Nathan's not a boy. We have to keep telling people.
Here for it. People in the comments are saying, dude, this is the most fired up we've seen Nathan Robinson.
I've got a lot of suppressed anger.
Well, now you know when you see him reserved on the show. Because I've seen you have a pretty frustrating debate with Glenn Greenwald some years ago.
Yeah,
I can only imagine what it was like talking to the Destiny dude. You guys have to read these books. You and Matt McManus always read the.
McManus, yeah, he does this too.
And it's just, I'm like, man, the punishment these men go through. They just need hugs at a certain point. It's like,
I do want a hug.
You deserve a hug.
Thank you.
Everybody, give it up for Nathan Robinson. Man, he's doing this for y'all.
It's true. We go through a lot.
But seriously,
but it's not. I mean, my job is to have opinions on the internet, so ultimately it's a very comfortable life. I mean, I do have to read like things Matt Iglesias writes, which is like a form of torture, but it's not, as forms of torture go, it's not quite like having your fingernails ripped out.
So look at this. Look at these. Look.
Look at these hugs. Thank you.
People love you. People love you, man.
Oh,
right? The people love you.
You got great people. Your commenters are wonderful.
This is a beautiful little internet world that we both share this. These people know who the fuck you are. They didn't think some weird white dude's on the show. They know who the fuck Nate Robinson is. But I do want to say from the bottom of my heart, and I mean this in all sincerity, thank you for doing what you do, for keeping the magazine going through the lean times.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you could have said F it and maybe taken a paid position somewhere. And you said, no, I'm going to see this thing through. That says a lot about who you are.
And I got to put in the plug to just people should check out Current Affairs, subscribe to our print magazine, because it is very difficult to keep a print magazine alive. But thank you, Jason. I really appreciate that. And obviously, we friends of the program here at Current Affairs, and you are always welcome here at Current Affairs World Headquarters, and so is the mysterious M. Toussaint if you ever find yourself in New Orleans.
Nate, look, I know it's late where you are. Thank you so much for hanging out with me again. We appreciate you. Wherever you guys are watching or listening to the show, there is a link in the description to Current Affairs magazine. Of course, I wouldn't put you on this show, Nate, without plugging your shit. Come on, brother.
No.
Have a good one, Nate.
I'll see you. Nice to meet you. All right, I'll see you. Bye now.
That is the Nate Robinson. We get a different Nate because it's late. He's been up all day yelling at people, the article is all wrong.
Nice.
He's been doing that all day long, like J. Jonah Jameson from the Spider-Man movies.
Wow.
So now he was just letting off all day steam.
He was. I really like that about him. The left needs to be expressive. I think that's important.
But
It's engaging.
this is the thing that I get mad about. I feel like people act like he's some kind of dandy,
The
and
Riddler.
he is passionate about
Yeah.
what he believes. There's a lot of
Hmm.
people in this sphere that are quite passionate about what they believe that do come from some humble beginnings. The people on the air right now. And
Hey.
and if that's why you like those other shows, I mean, there's definitely the equivalent over here. And we're way funnier.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, come on.
I'll say this: there's a lot of people on the left. I'll be honest, that are really boring. They're not easy to listen to. They're certainly not interested in being entertainers and engaging with people and bringing people to the left. They want to talk to. There's the sirens.
That's how. Can it get any realer than MT's house? There
As soon
hasn't
as he
been an
leaves,
episode. Yeah, you've been on air for what, like 3 years now? At least 3 years. This nigga hit the
at
mute.
least
3 years? Don't even hit mute. It's just
Here,
what it is. You live in the projects.
here's the thing. I listen back to the shows often,
Hmm.
and I try to gauge how often a siren goes off, but I realize that the sirens go off so often out here, I can't gauge. It's just all really normal to me. Just the sirens are always going.
It's just what it is. Somebody
It's
said he
just what
dressed
it
like a
is.
Polish pimp. I felt that. I felt the Polish pimp energy today.
He was on it. He's like, I am not a boy. Mm-mm.
Connor says, "Listen, Jason, Queens, home of the body bag." Damn.
No.
I
I
mean,
want
so
him to have a short lived marriage with my friend in Baton Rouge.
you don't have any friends. You just know a lot of people.
I bequeath unto him my beloved friend.
You having
I
an
just,
unnatural allegiance to lose.
she's not a loser. We'll save it for the Love on the Left show.
Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to make another Love on the Left show.
We need our queen of boom boom clap to
Oh,
come back.
Jesus.
I didn't get a chance to ask Nathan, what's your go-to McDonald's order?
First of all,
Hmm?
don't.
No, I felt like I threw in enough jokes. I didn't want to totally throw him off and harass him, so I didn't ask.
Well, ever since I was nervous after the son of the guy, white guy, talks like he's
Christian
remote.
Parenti.
Thank you.
You were nervous after I did that? I'm sorry.
No, I would no. I thought it was cool, and then the look on his face of who the fuck. I was like,
so
oh
mafiosi, and he always wears black.
yeah. He just like, I'm like, man, your funny bone is long gone, huh? You are a
I like
joy to
him
be
so
around at
much.
parties.
He's so funny to me.
I thought for sure I was going to get a very nasty message.
I asked not only for his pronouns but his ethnic background. That's OD. That is so extra.
Oh my god! And I think it's because people don't know you, right?
Yes.
They don't know your face, and there's either they think it's like I'm controlling a Muppet or some shit.
I never thought about that.
Well, it's like Willie Tyler and Lester over there. Or they just think it's some mean joke. Like, I don't know, because I think they're so used to talking to boring people that just want to be boring.
Yes.
That when you're like, oh hey, we're kind of entertaining, they're like, oh, what the fuck is this?
You could really start a brush fire in your phone listening to some of these podcasts. They're just dry.
They're so dry.
They're just dry.
Oh my god. Did you take your funny pills today?
Thank you.
Jesus.
They just be interviewing somebody, and he's like, and then I switched to dry cereal at the age of 5. And you're like, what is this? What is this conversation supposed to be? Who wants to listen to this? Unbelievable. Dry cereal? Really?
Them niggas ask Netanyahu what his McDonald's order is.
What's your go-to?
Even if you're talking to the alderman of your fucking bullshit town, why would you ask that question?
Yo, what really got me was he said, I like Burger King. And the dude said, that's your worst take. He told a war criminal that was his worst take. Unbelievable.
I will say, we have to admit, who goes to Burger King?
They have this Oreo shake. That is really,
I guess we just figured it out.
The thing is, McDonald's has the Oreo McFlurry, and there's no dairy in it. So it's like there's no consequences.
So it goes. Motherfucker said dry cereal is equal to a raisin in the potato salad. Oh my God. Do they mean the cereal like no milk or just regular dry cereal in general?
Dry ass cornflakes, man.
Some
Just
fucked up
dry
ass
ass
shit.
cornflakes. Ask Netanyahu what his favorite cereal is.
I'm still like, I can't believe that was a real. First of all, that man is old as fuck. You think he's eating like sugar smacks? Fuck, you think he's eating?
The thing is, Trump is eating that stuff. So.
That's that nigga. Donald, he's an anomaly of what the fuck, right?
Yeah.
He's an anomaly of what the fuck. He's a weird dude that's been able to do like no one tells him no. Who the fuck tells him no? Like seriously. His kids just won't fuck with him. Or just okay, well you can't tell dad no, we just won't fuck with him. Someone that was on this show had worked on The Apprentice. I will not say who. And they were telling me about that with him.
Really?
Yeah.
No one tells him no.
I totally understand. Donald Trump is probably like me when I go to a grocery store. Like, they got chocolate golden grams? Oh, God. What will they think of next? You take me down a cereal aisle, man. I just lose my fucking mind. I'm like, oh, Lordy B.
That's wild.
They put raisins in the grape nuts now? Lord.
And then you fan yourself?
Yeah. Literally clutch the pearls.
And then you smell socks. Slowly.
Don't get me Norvilled out here in the cereal aisle. I declare.
I need a mint julep.
Lose my mind, and I can't walk down a cereal aisle because I literally just keep walking because I'm scared. I am terrified. And then if I keep walking and then I look down and I see the cheap cereal in the bag, but it's the same thing as the thing I want, right? Cocoa Flakes.
Oh. Cocoa Flakes.
Cocoa Flakes. Choco Balls. Big old bag of Choco Balls. That sounded worse than what I wrote in the introduction.
Hey, yo.
I was reading and I was like, I know I read that. Oh, yep. That sounds bad. Someone says I'm clipping that. Look, man, if you've never eaten Choco Balls, and have you ever really lived?
Wow.
Isn't that what they call them? Wow. Choco Balls? That's not what they call them where you're from?
I don't be looking at them. I don't know what they call them.
You don't look at
They better take me up for dinner first.
You live in such a black ass neighborhood as balls with a Z.
Shut up. You're wild.
Bad Lefty says at least it wasn't coming on my
Oh my gosh.
Thank you, Francis. Thank you guys for the birthday shouts out. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Speaking of chess, I cannot believe you had titties discourse with Nathan Robinson. Nathan Robinette Robinson.
Did you see the comments people were leaving?
I didn't see it at the time. I was just in shock. I was like, wait, what? He did not shy away from that. I guess he is grown.
Me and Nathan are on the same level of tired, so
Okay.
I'm a little tired myself. They just want titties, and he's like, they do want titties. What is with the titty?
Leftist titties discourse.
And people lost their mind in the comments after we said the thing about the titties.
I need to rewatch the show.
Oh my God. Can you screenshot some of the titty comments they left? They're talking about titty reductionists.
Oh no. Wow. I love it.
Sadly, someone's going to clip me saying I want Choco Balls and taking it all, whatever the fuck I said at the beginning. Yeah, my birthday is August 19th, the same day as Bill Clinton and John Stamos.
Bill Clinton, rapist.
Now the titty comments are back.
Nathan lives in New Orleans. He's aware of titties.
Oh my God. You think he's just tired of him after Mardi Gras? Like, whoa.
Just throwing beads everywhere. You get beads. You get beads.
Oh, no.
Unreal.
You people are horrible. I do think that's what those guys would rather talk about, though. I think most of those people would rather talk about things you don't have to think about. And if you listen to most of those shows, they don't have certain people on because they want to have those people on to say, look, these people are just like us, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look how regular this conversation is. It's like, that's cool. You can talk to dude about his McDonald's order, but at some point you have to ask the real question. Like, okay, now with that out of the way.
Right. As Crystal Ball suggested, just bring in another friend who happens to be Mehdi Hassan or Crystal Ball or preferably Ryan Grimm. Bring another friend who can ask questions. You can just add, right?
But that turns it. But that's that whole like I'm from pro, right? This pro wrestling. That's oh no, who's that on the top rope? Oh no, he's gonna go. He's coming down the rafters.
Bring Pascal,
right? Well then, Yahoo, there's some things we just don't know about. That's when we have our friend Crystal Ball. Oh my God, it's Crystal Ball.
She will jump off a ladder. Yes, she will.
At that point, it is officially a 3-ring circus.
Yeah.
And I would just turn anything off. Whatever I was watching, I was like, oh, it's time to go.
Okay. Ryan Grimm also made a suggestion. Mm-hmm. If you are a podcaster who talks about nothing and some head of state war criminal hits you up for an interview, call Ryan Grimm. Call Ryan first. Talk to Ryan first. Ask Ryan questions first. I think that's a great idea. He says he does it all the time.
But you know why it's a haha funny idea that'll never happen? Because then you lose. No one's going to give you money once you do that. That's the thing. And I'm not saying that you're wrong. I want to get it clear. I'm not saying that you're wrong in saying that. It's just that there's a reality to this. And it's like, if they go, we don't know what the fuck to do, let's just call Ryan Grimm. That works when that
When you say
Ethan
it like
Klein
that.
guy calls Sam Cedar to debate the dude that was on a
Oh
church
yeah, I thoroughly
25
enjoyed
years ago.
that.
What was that guy's name? Stephen Chowder?
Steven Crowder, yeah, yeah,
Crowder?
yeah.
Whatever. Who gives a shit? Um, whatever. I don't give it. Do you give a shit?
I enjoyed that. That was.
I mean, do you give a shit about Stephen Crowder?
No, I
But that,
enjoyed
no,
it as
that
I
was
guess
pro
as
wrestling.
wrestling though.
But that's wrestling, right? It's like, oh my God. Hulk Hogan has switched sides.
I mean, can't you ask serious questions? Just invert the ratio of how serious this show is and then our jokes, especially my jokes. I did a lot of them today.
Mm-hmm.
So do that less. But invert the ratio. Just sprinkle in some more serious questions. No?
It said there was a serious journalist who had a cooking show on TV in Australia, and it made the conversations a joke. Oh, I cook pasta at home to dodge questions about detaining refugees, etc. Awful stuff. Oof.
Yikes.
I agree with
Well,
you.
maybe
Crystal
we
ball.
leave it to the pros.
Tucson, how are you feeling today? Because we have to wrap up.
I'm feeling okay. I was hoping that you had a good day today, and I was actually hoping that you wouldn't like mess up your beard when you were shaving today, but it kind of seems like you did.
I
I feel like that'll mess up a day for a guy, and it kind of did. You
no,
look
no,
great,
no.
though.
I didn't mess up. If I met look,
Yeah.
when I mess up, the face is bald. That's when you just go, nah, it's time to start over. It wasn't that I messed up. It was that I took the beard down and I was like, if I shave it, then it'll grow back all cool and stubbly. So I'll look like Miami Vice Santa for my son when I see him next week for his birthday.
Miami Vice Santa.
Mm-hmm.
5 o'clock shadow?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Miami Vice Black Santa. So Blana.
Vice.
Blana. This is
I
what
mean,
I'm going for the rest of the year, for 2025, moving forward.
I don't know all the rules of beards. If I shave off my beard completely, it's a good day. So, understand it's the opposite for you.
No. I just, I know I shaved and I said she's gonna give me shit because oh no, mustache Jason is here. Blah.
I remember that. You
Yeah,
were
you say it all the
definitely
time.
jerk ass Jason before when you
Jerk,
were in your mustache phase.
jerk ass Jason is what you
Yeah.
call me all
Yeah.
the time.
No. That comes from Batman. Batman had a phase where he was just like slapping Robin and just like flipping off on him. And then they used it for Homer Simpson when Homer was just being a dick. So I just use it for you.
What is wrong with you two?
It's the right meme for the
Oh my
situation.
god. Are you on the show Thursday?
What's Thursday?
No, you're not on the show Thursday. What day are you on?
I don't think so. What's Saturday? I'm supposed to do Saturday.
You're not here Saturday. Nope.
Good. Okay, good.
Nope. We moved the red zone to Saturday because we were actually talking about soccer.
Wait, what?
We're talking about soccer. Everybody always goes, you don't talk about soccer. I want to talk about look, we're having an international guest. We're going to have a deep dive discussion about corruption within the sport. Oh, how dare you blow your nose and not hit mute?
Oh no, I'm sorry.
What show do you think this is?
My computer fell.
Oh, now your computer's falling. That's what we're about now?
I thought you said on Saturday we're talking to Hassan.
Piker? Or Mehdi Hassan?
I mean, Hassan Minaj.
Hassan Minaj.
Yes.
Would that dude ever come on this show?
I don't know.
Does he straddle the line to you between I'm in the middle a little bit?
I mean, sometimes he seems like he doesn't really want to get into it because it's
Yeah.
more about jokes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he is not that far left. He's great here.
Well, do you remember his show on Netflix
Loved his show.
where he would talk about politics? I mean, he said some horrible shit about Brazil.
Yeah.
Oof. Pretty much all of his international politics stuff outside of. Did he do some shows on India?
Yes.
Like they weren't very good. But it's the Jon Stewart model. It's the Daily
I
Show
mean,
model.
it sounds about American though, right?
Oof. Mm. Mm, mm, mm.
Yeah. Bad takes.
Joshua says, "Shout out to Carola." Hell yeah! They don't get enough shouts out.
Yeah.
Someone said his watch game is tight. I mean, it gets real money.
He is doing ads for the Brooks Brothers.
Oof. What would you do if someone was like, "You have to show your face, and then we'll give this show $100,000 a year"?
I think about that all the time.
I would.
Honestly.
I would show your face.
I have a friend that tells me all the time, look, you have an MF Doom mask. You should use it. Just turn your camera on and just have the mask on. I was like, that mask is like, man, you heard the story of the man in the iron mask. It is cumbersome. It is a punishment. I don't know if I want to do that.
But again, what's even funnier is you could have been at the New York when we hung out after the show, and she was just sitting there at the bar. No mask.
I did that.
Just Marion Turnbuckle just hanging out at the bar.
I did that. I was just sitting at the bar. For a while I put on the PPE mask. And then I took that off too, and I was just a civilian.
You were just a civilian because you can do that. It's like
Yeah.
I told you when I saw Sheryl Crow, when I met her, she didn't have all the hair and makeup and the weave, and the fancy outfit. She was just every other white lady yelling at her kid.
Mm.
Like I laughed so hard at her child. We had these real weather balloons because part of Gabbo was one of the characters named Broby was to float away. And he, of course, there's pulleys pulling the character, right? But he's holding real weather balloons, and it was some like 100 real weather balloons every night. And we had to save the balloons because they were kind of expensive. And so there was tons of Sheryl Crow fans within members of the crew. And so when people found out who she was, because again, she just looks like a regular ass woman. Like, yeah, a regular ass. That's the most regular ass. Like, dazzled jean having ass.
Wow.
Complicated Starbucks order ass white woman I've ever seen. And the woman that ran the VIP after party that I was a part of had given her kid one of the weather balloons, and her kid was hella stoked about it. And I had to walk out at the same time with her. As I'm walking out, she looked at her kid like, and I know your mom said the same shit. Did you ever have a mom that was like, don't touch nothing, don't look at nothing, don't ask for nothing? Did your mom ever do that shit to y'all?
I don't think so. She just wouldn't take me.
She just kept you in the basement?
She wouldn't. Okay, so we're from Queens, and if she didn't think I was gonna walk fast enough, she wouldn't take me to Manhattan. She was like, Manhattan is a place where you have to walk fast. Can't be a baby. Black American mom.
So it goes says yes. I feel like there's multiple people, regardless of their ethnicity. Maybe it doesn't sound that same tone, but those words,
Don't touch nothing. Maybe.
don't touch anything. You're not gonna get anything. And that was like the way she looked at the kid, right? Like, this is what you can get. We're gonna watch the motherfucking show. We're gonna leave. And oh, please take a balloon. And she looked at it and she goes, take the balloon. You kind of like looking all over the place. Take the balloon. And she gives the kid the balloon. And the kid's walking out. She goes, don't you let the balloon go until we get in the car, because I'm not getting you another one. And so, you know what I did? I sat there to watch because I knew the kid was going to let the balloon.
Let the balloon go. Wow.
And, you know, I just wanted to see this meltdown.
No, you're the worst.
And so they do that. As soon as she told the kid, don't you let the balloon go till we get in the car. And the kid goes,
Oh.
And those weather balloons don't slowly. That motherfucker took off like a rocket.
Yeah.
And she grabbed the kid. Come on. And she put the kid in the car. And I was like,
no. That's wild.
Didn't get that much. She could have came back and asked for 50 more, and they would have given them to her. And she said, no, I told you no, let that motherfucker go. Be a balloonless crying this motherfucker in the car on the way home as kid.
Make the sound of the kid letting go of the balloon again. You know the mom face I'm talking about. Because at that moment I was like, I'm looking at my mom. My mom has done and said the exact same thing to me, like with the same tone. That's so funny.
And she's like, don't you let the balloon go. And she said it in that, like, I'm not going to move my lips in front of these people.
Yeah.
And you tricked her to let her go in the car. And the kid went, nah. As soon as she I just like went like this. I'm with Prester John. We sat with bated breath waiting for a mom to go full ham in the mall as kids. Oh.
That's wild.
Coach Slick says the pure sound of childhood not giving a fuckery. Didn't give a fuck until mom was like, nah, it's a wrap. And the kid started crying. She said, come to me. I was like, ooh. I'm a Sheryl Crow. All I want to do.
Yeah. I didn't think I was allowed to do that anyway.
See,
I think I was like,
you was probably so used to getting your ass kicked.
I think so. Like, you're not leaving the house if you're gonna touch things. That's not a thing.
No.
My mom's a little bit of a germaphobe, so we weren't allowed to touch stuff.
Most of these, what shocked me the most about most of these people, the only person I met that had an assistant was Chloe. Chloe, which is the little one? Courtney is the little one? Kardashian?
Yeah. She
had an assistant. Everybody else was just there with their kids, like yelling at them. Stay your ass still. Like, it was really like, which was kind of like, oh, that's nice. And you see someone that she was still a big star. It's like 2009. She's still fucking, Sheryl Crow. She can play an arena. She can do a Vegas show, right?
Mm-hmm.
No assistant, nobody helping her, no nanny. Just, I told you.
People in the chat making comments about me being stuck in a basement. Stuck in my mom's basement. Now I'm stuck in my mom's basement with a duck. Before, I think I had a mask, the iron mask.
The iron mask.
A lot going on.
Well, look.
Yeah, that two mask is intense.
We don't need another Doom mask. We don't need you to show your face. I love the fact that you can live your life in New York. and you and I can walk around New York and just lie.
Yeah.
Oh no, this isn't Toussaint. This is just make someone up that we keep talking about that no one knows either. Like this is Jordan Dubin.
Oh, yeah.
Like 8 people know who Jordan is.
That's so
And
funny.
of that 8, it's like Matt Leck, David Criscom, Ben.
That's true. It's only podcasters there.
Yeah, it's only podcast people know. Oh, is that no Toussaint? No, she's too important. She's her other job. She works at a Fortune 500 company.
She works at a Ross's / Church's Chicken.
I'm so mad that people still talk about you like that, being the manager of the Ross.
Those two businesses do not go together.
Because the sad thing about those two businesses, they do go together. If
Oh
you
my
are
God.
in the right neighborhood, there's a Ross
Neighborhood, but not like the same place.
If it is the same place, oh happy day.
Oh no.
Ross Church's Chicken Pawn Shop? Nigga,
Stop it.
come on.
Pawn shop.
That's how we make the money. We open that franchise up. That's like the dude that had the barbecue place with a foot massage place next to it.
Yeah. Joe's Barbecue and Foot Massage.
You have a pawn shop, Church's Chicken, and a Ross.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck out of here.
Unreal.
It's the one-stop shop for everybody. You get school clothes, get an old PlayStation,
Snack for the kids,
and dinner.
Yep.
Come on, man.
And payday loans.
Payday loans. You get a payday loan.
Oh, 700% interest. No big deal.
That's how you pay for the school clothes and expensive ass chicken. That is the store that propels us into the stratosphere so we can be big enough to have real politicians on.
Who's the politician that you want to have on? There's only one I can think of.
You want an honest answer or an answer I think I should give?
We all know you want to talk to Gavin Newsom.
Oof.
Gruesome Newsom. He's having a moment now.
I feel like I could talk to him and then we could lull him into submission and then like bust out some real questions on him and make him have a mask off moment. But I fear that having that mask off moment would really energize the libs.
I thought you were going to say you wanted to talk to him about highways. I know how much you like geography. He would be the guy to know what you're talking about.
California housing some of the most intricate interstate highways. No, I wrote a new piece that is out right now in the crisis papers for patrons because I think as much as we fear Trump, I do think that because he's just so all over the place and Gavin Newsom is a scary individual to me. He really is because there's something about him that is likable in this moment for a certain kind of quote unquote resistance liberal. Because he seems like he's about that action, I guess. That makes sense. Like, I think he could go on all those shows that the right wingers go on and could probably freestyle. I don't need my comms person to clear this because you can't handle me. And all you're going to do is make me look tough. I think people want a certain kind of toughness in this moment. And what scares me about Newsom is he, to me, is more fashy than a Trump character because he has an ideology. He has a plan. There's such a far rightward shift. There's there's so many games with language people like him play. Everything that people are kind of, I don't want to say whining, but rightfully upset about with Trump in DC, Gavin Newsom already did in Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Oakland. So without the same kind of fanfare, right? So I think these people are able to do it because I do believe people want to see these things happen without the veneer of kind of comic book villainy. Do it with some PMC class, say the right words, and you'll get the things done. You'll get the extermination done. Because my big fear that I wrote about is kind of a big euthanasia rollout, and he seems like he would love to do that
with the unhoused.
Oh yes, I mean with the unhoused, yeah, not just yeah, with the
Well,
unhoused.
he don't like he doesn't have a good record with the unhoused.
Yes and no. I mean, Room Key was a project that nobody else was rolling out, where he was like, "We'll put them all in hotels," which actually worked better than people thought. There was problems, but there's problems with everything, right? But even permanent supportive housing, the wording in permanent supportive housing is very deceptive, and that scares me. He legitimately frightens me. No, I wanted to talk. I've been thinking about bringing him back on if I can get a hold of him. Is a guy named Shahid Buttar, because I thought he's interesting because he kind of encapsulated a moment where there was all this energy around AOC, and everybody wanted to see a left wing contender, and most of those people lost. Some re-ran for smaller positions and state positions, but most people, if they could, pivoted to having the podcast or becoming a media personality, because they all, if you remember, they all got blue checks for running.
Right.
And he was a person I was relatively close to while he was running. So talking about that moment and where we are now from 2020 to 2025, does he see any similarities? Does he see any differences? Does he see a change in strategy? Because when we talk about the right, we've been saying this on the show for the last 5 years, let's say, since Pascal's been on the show. I didn't coin it, he did. The 50-year counter-revolution of the right took 50 years to get where we are now. It didn't happen overnight. It didn't happen just because of Trump. They took L's, if you will, but they saw a longer game. They entrenched themselves in communities, and they still are part of organizations. As a person that lived with a family that is registered Republicans, there were organizations that they were a part of. Motherfuckers don't even want to go to a DSA meeting. So
True.
And the letdown from 2020 bred so much apathy. That I don't know, even with Mondami, right? You should feel hopeful. He's not supposed to be a savior. He's just a man.
Is he?
Yeah.
Half man, half amazing. Like
It's
Nas.
not Nas. No. But, I see a certain amount of hate thrown his way as well that I don't feel is justified.
Yeah. Like, let him cook. He ain't even get into the mayor's office yet.
And you kind of have to ask.
Follow.
You have to ask your question. You have to ask like more serious questions, like what does winning look like to you? And I don't think people want to answer that question.
Free buses.
Sure.
Freezing my rent. Thank you, Zoran.
And I don't think anyone affiliated with this show would assume that free buses is like the end game. We got free buses, and it's like we're high-fiving, and no, that's just silly.
I want those stores. One in every borough. Here for it.
They're not going to sell your black hair care products.
I want them to sell 6 train T-shirts.
They're not going to sell your fucking pink oil moisturizer.
That's all right, man. I'll be moisturized when I go there.
They're not going to have your cocoa butter lotion.
Cocoa butter.
I know what you people use.
It'd be all right. It'd be all right. Just let them in. I have one friend who's like, listen, is it just me? Or does he sound like he has the name of a magician? The Amazing Zoran? Come on.
First of all, don't call him that.
I don't like it. I feel like it gives you an idea of what like movie producers and stuff like use as names for magicians.
Somebody says, I'm curious, who is MT's politician for an interview?
My politician, I don't know if he's really a politician. He is running for office in Palm Beach County.
Oh, okay. Where's that?
In Florida.
Okay.
He's running to represent FL20 in Congress. His name is Elijah Manley. Young black dude, very funny.
What about the dude in what you call it? The gentleman in Minneapolis that's running for mayor.
Fateh? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Like that? Omar?
You don't dig him?
I don't really want to talk to him. I thought you were going to say Chakrabarti in California. He's like California's Zoran.
He's just he's just like walking around from Redding to San Diego.
I hope not.
Like he's just walking.
Yeah, Omar Fateh.
Someone says you guys should have Nicolas Maduro on the show.
I know Maduro.
I know Maduro.
That man was wild for that.
I talked to Maduro.
Why would you say
Y'all gotta
that?
stop letting these old niggas freestyle like this. You gotta stop. You don't vote for me, you ain't black, Jack. Oh.
Everything he ever said about being near a pool, wild.
You know what's funny? I was talking to, what's so funny. There's the gentleman in my house is of the Negroid persuasion.
Oh.
That didn't sound right, did it?
Kind of didn't. This gentleman in my house.
Just like I'm not a Negroid. What did you say the other day? Negronia? What did you say?
Negroidian.
Negroidian. Yeah, he's of the Negroidian persuasion. We were talking about there's this stereotype that black people can't swim, and I don't know where it comes from. Because where I'm from, niggas swim. And this dude told me, he's like, oh, when I was a lifeguard, when I was in high school, what'd you say?
Wow.
He just walked in. He goes, you just call me a Negroid. But there was a place called the Richmond Plunge where I'm from, and that's where niggas were.
Wow. Hey, yo.
This sounds like a fucking 70s bathhouse to you.
It really does.
Zaire says the gentleman of my house. Oh, shit.
Wow.
It was a real it's just people are just we were very young kids. We didn't think anything dirty like you New Yorkers.
Yeah,
It was just a
sure.
disgusting county pool that people went to go swim amongst all kinds of things.
Hmm.
Big urine pools.
Hmm.
Tony Red said, "Is the Richmond Plunge anything like the peg launcher?" Mike Ray, I think Mike Ray is from the Bay. Mike Ray says you finna get a UTI in that bitch. Mike Ray is, if he's not from Richmond, he's got to be from the Bay because he knows the Richmond Plunge. That's where everybody that was broke went to go swim. If you didn't have a pool or access to a pool, and then I felt like all the black aunties I knew,
Mhm.
if you got money, and when I say money, I mean like if you got like a government job or like a
Yeah.
job with a pension, you bought a house with a pool. I'm from California, right? People,
Right.
it's hot here, and
Mhm.
a lot of places had pools. My aunt had a house with a pool, so when my dad's older sister, had get-togethers, it was like, "Can we go to Linda's house? She got a pool," and then all of us little negroids was just trying not to drown. Right? You know what those parties look like. I'm sure. Well, maybe in New York. I feel like New York is always cold, and y'all got like
No.
2 months where it's hot and it smells like trash outside.
No. You stop. Unreal. Our fire hydrants are air purifiers. It smells great.
Spike Lee's just going around popping hydrants for all the little nigga kids. And you and a bunch of Puerto Ricans are just double dutching with that shit in your hair.
I have seen that though. When they make the pool outside with the water plug being popped.
Yeah, like look, we instead of that, we had
real
uh
pools.
you had real pools, right? You had an aunt with a real, or you had the Richmond Plunge, right? Or you have the bay, you have lakes, there's all kind of shit you have. I'm from where there's a body of water next to me, but all the black people I knew swam and liked going swimming. I never met. I mean, I met black women like I can't get my hair wet. That definitely
Yeah.
happened. But even when we were little kids, everybody got in the pool. Where do
That
people
is
talk about
so
niggas can't swim?
interesting. I don't know how to swim. My father is from the part of Haiti where everybody knows how to swim. He did not know how to swim. I'm pretty sure. He told me when he was very young, he was on a boat. It wasn't like a dinghy, it was like a boat. Because they had dogs on board and food and all kinds of stuff. But he told me that the boat was sinking
Oh
and it
shit!
got so bad that they threw the dogs over. And he was like, I knew it was bad because then they started throwing the food over.
Damn.
He was like, the water was rough and it was just like, oh, and he's just kind of stayed away from water. And he wanted to get us a pool, but I think he just never closed that deal.
My
And I never
son
learned how to.
swam. My daughter swam. Phoenix
Did they swim like
swims.
as babies? Did they like throw them in the pool? I've seen
My
those
dad
videos.
ended up getting a house with a pool
Uh-huh.
before he had to sell it, and yeah, we just were around pools. The kids, we took them to other friends' house that had a pool. Like some a motherfucker's gonna have a pool, and
Oh,
my oldest son swam competitively, played water polo.
what?
Yeah, man. I don't. Where do you people get this niggas
I
can't
was
swim?
about to say Z Black. That's funny. Um, he is. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if the people around me know how to swim. I actually assume they do. People are always telling me to get in the pool and stuff, and I assume they know how to swim. I
You
don't
just
know.
you think it's a
The
plot
videos
to fuck up your hair? You think you hating ass bitches don't want me to have this silk press, right?
Yo, for real. Silk presses cost. I'm trying to jeopardize those for no reason.
Mm-mm. But other
I'm not
than
into
that,
the
dude, black people
babysitting
know how to
thing.
swim, man. Unless you look, if you have some tragic story like your father
Yeah.
escaping a fucking despotic regime with
He
18
wasn't
niggas
trying
on
to go
one
to
door.
America.
Yeah, they're all hanging on it. It's like the scene in Titanic. Like,
He was not Elian Gonzalez.
Gonzalez.
He was not trying to come to America. He was just on a boat in Haiti. Jesus.
I think the story of your dad getting here like Elliot.
My dad came to the United States on a plane.
Your dad and baby Pascal. He was just holding on to baby Pascal.
In his arms,
Give us
swaddled up.
sleep. Oh shit.
Unbelievable.
I bet you Pascal can swim. I bet any money that nigga can swim.
I mean, he lives in Florida now.
That's the fucking 2 living rooms.
For real. Yeah, I could see that. I didn't like getting my eyes wet.
Watching that Amanda Seals thing, you would think that black people never got out of the color purple era.
Yikes.
We had juke joints. That's all we had.
What's that movie I just watched? Sinners. Yeah.
Sinners. Oh my God.
We own Sinners.
Mike Gray said your dad pushed baby Pascal in a little basket like Moses out the sea.
That is top 10 anime crossovers right there.
Oh my God. Dr. Clausis, that's how some of those FBA types talk. We're going to do a show about it. I don't want to talk about it too much because this is getting in the champagne room territory. We've gone 52 minutes free for you niggas.
We went extra. We went like an hour over after Nathan.
Isn't Pascal actually Elian Gonzalez?
Could you imagine?
No one remembers Elian Gonzalez. I hope people are Googling it.
People
Young people Google it if you don't know what we're talking about.
Leon Gonzalez.
So hard when you see the picture. You're like, oh, it's fucked up.
He popped up in the news some years ago as an
like
adult.
Anniversary. Yeah.
Handsome guy.
What is Afro Aquatic?
It's just California subset.
That's a thing? Is that like Afrofuturist? And all that
Do
other
we
goofy
need to
shit?
make a t-shirt of it?
Oh my God.
Just imagine to wear afro. I don't know.
And now you know why niggas don't swim.
Can't get that afro wet.
Say, Jack, I ain't getting this thing wet.
I love when you talk like that. I think it's so funny. And I feel so bad. Because I'm like, it's Jason Cooney. I feel bad. But I thoroughly enjoy it so much.
I had a discussion with someone about cooning. And it was one of the discussions where they was getting passionate about a particular coon.
Oh.
And I was like, I think that person's good. I don't think you appreciate with this mother. They are doing it with passion. Ergo.
Oh, wow. Irregardless
of what you said, Mr. Man, Mr. I have a podcast and know everything.
Alex Michelle says, Jason's been calling me boy with that antebellum accent all week. Jason! Don't do that!
Oh my God.
Why are you doing that?
Oh my God. That is not. Can I tell you something funny that he said to me?
Yeah, sure.
It made me laugh. So I did this thing last. Okay, this is the last thing. Then we have to go because
Yeah.
it's bad. Thank you guys for hanging out with me on my birthday. Please indulge me with this because I want to hear what you guys have to say about this. So since he's been here, I've been doing this thing that I don't know why I'm doing it. I think I want a young person to validate that this is a bad thing. I've been watching no jumper videos.
Why?
Just like niggleize me. Like I've just been watching no jumper videos, right? And he hates them. He's like, this shit is stupid. I don't know these people. And one of the videos was like people that have died from no jumper beef. And, it's all AI generated and stupid. And one of the people that, because they all have names, I'm like, oh, what are these names? YBJ fucknuts got shot by by winner chicken dinner, spelled thusly with A's at the end. and so one of the people that got killed, his name was Man. And I laughed really. I think I spit out. I think I was drinking coffee or something. And I spit it out because I laughed so hard because that's a name. If you are a certain kind of hood black person, and I feel like I think this is bi-coastal. This is bi-coastal. If you're in the fucking Midwest, if you're the one nigga family living in the Dakotas, if you have a cousin nicknamed Man, that's a bad little fucking kid.
Yes.
But you stop calling him that by school age. If you are still calling him Man when that nigga is grown and putting on his own clothes, that nigga's going to prison.
Yes, he is.
He's going right to prison. There may not be a pipeline from school, but there's a pipeline from nicknames.
And he'll be wearing shirts.
Never. Always fighting, ashy knuckles. And the dude's name was, and so I started laughing because I was like, that's a grown dude named Man. And I was like, and he didn't get it. I was like, what the fuck is so funny? I was like, well, you're not, and I'm not being serious. I'm like, you're not black enough. If you don't have a Man in your family. Right? If you don't have a man in the family and not by marriage. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
If there's not a little cousin named Man, you need to check yourself.
I had a cousin. His name is not Man, but he a lot like that. And he used to eat hot dogs frozen.
Ooh,
I was like,
that's man behavior right there.
Butter, just
okay. So he's let me explain. Okay, so this is how he redeemed himself. So he's part Jamaican. And he told me that thing that you told me a few years ago when Marcus was on the show, that Jamaicans, you don't trust them because they shady as fuck. Because you said they be having nicknames that be real names. And then this nigga said his mom. He said, why everybody call you Sarah? And that ain't your name. And I said, Tucson said y'all be doing that shit.
Yes.
I fell the fuck out.
They do that all the time.
And I said, you have redeemed your blackness.
Yes.
Because that's mad niggerish. That's mad niggerish.
I don't know why they do that.
When you was
Dave from Jamaica was gatekeeping. They do that all the time.
I don't know what color So It Goes is. He said, I got an Uncle Boots and an Uncle Snowball. Hey, them sound like two felons to me.
Uncle Felon 1,
Uncle Felon 2. That's all I hear. If you introduce them people by them names, might have served some time. You might have some 18-month stretch under his belt. Look at it, Tucson. Motherfucker say, "Yup."
Yep.
So maybe everybody has their own man, but I know
Yeah.
for a fact, if your name is man, if you are over 6 and motherfuckers are still calling you man, oh.
Yes.
I had a cousin that was like his little nickname, and then he got older, and it evolved. That's what we call, and then we eventually call him his name, right?
Yeah.
Because he's an adult man. He's a father. He passed away sadly. He's a father. Yeah. Fucking, it's
You're supposed to grow out of it.
no. If you are still called that, Jacob says, "I know a grown man named Pooh Bear. That nigga's been in prison." Alex said, "Jacob, that nigga light skinned."
I remember my cousin, the one that was eating the hot dogs, our version of man. He didn't like to wear shoes. That boy, when he got older, his feet were like 2 loaves of bread. I'm like, how do you put shoes on? How do you
Especially all the ash. Especially all the ash.
Unbelievable. Just who are you?
Dude, look, everybody got now. I want to know, what about Uncle Manny? He said, what about Uncle Manny in prison? If you are Latin, yes, that counts.
Yes.
That nigga Manny. Because he got another name on the street.
Yeah.
If they call him Oso.
Oso. Wow.
Oso. Yeah, it's a wrap for you. But yeah, I want to know, leave in the comments the nicknames what you think are the hood nicknames of your family members, or maybe you are a hood motherfuckers watch this show.
I hope so.
I have been accosted.
Okay. Was it at Richmond Plunge?
A nigga or two has accosted me. Fan of your show, brother. Man. Yes.
Yeah, Gil Scott Heron voice is hilarious. Just
White is on the moon. The nigga stole my TV, but White is on the moon. Just eat the food. Quit laughing, you goddamn coon.
You said, say, look at your vines. And I don't know what that means. I don't know how to look it up. What does that even mean?
They had niggas saying words. They were just inventing words that no niggas was saying. Them some fine vines you got on, brother. The fuck?
Oh my gosh.
It's not. Yeah, I'm going to bad places. Googling shit. Jason is teaching me. That's what but White is on the moon. I love, dude. Actually, I love that song.
Yeah.
I love that song. It's a great, or poem, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
I love it when he does it, the spoken word with no music, and he's walking around I love it. But man, sometimes these niggas hear it and they only hear one part of it, and it's the but yeah, I want to, if you have a hood nickname, if you gave your child a hood nickname, if you named your son DeAndre, you knew you was fucking that nigga up.
The coldest.
If you gave your kid an extra niggerish name, you know what you did. Leave the comment. Be real.
Mm-hmm.
Be real. Because White is on the moon. My sister got bit by a rat last night, but White is on the moon.
That's right. I like all that stuff.
Yeah. Let's I want to see what people, because I know there's some DeAndres in the that have changed their, YouTube name to something real nice. They did the Jamaican thing.
Anything with
Neil Robeson.
anything with an apostrophe.
Ooh, if there's an apostrophe, you fucked that kid up. That was unnecessary.
Accent marks.
Unnecessary.
Yeah.
Oh, my daughter gives me shit for her name.
She don't have accent marks, right?
No, she just said, Dad, I have a name and I couldn't get cool shit. I couldn't get a keychain. She goes, I go to Disneyland. My brothers can get keychains, and my Lola had to get them specially made for me because you and Mom wanted to be cute.
Yeah, same. Same.
That is true.
Yeah. Well, if you think about it, same for Zoran. And look how great he is. Half man, half amazing.
Wow, that was a nice pivot. Shout out to the pivot on that
one. Yeah.
That's a good, because we should end the show.
He will do great things.
This nigga said Uncle Mad Dog still acting. If your name has an accent because of where you're from, that's different. If you're born in the States, your parents knew what the fuck they was doing when they named you. How many Asian people do you know that wasn't born here, but they gave them kids some American accents? Because they knew. But MT has one of them fucked up names. There was no keychains for you.
No, there weren't.
Not a one. You was looking, wasn't you?
Zoran is going to make it okay for people to have ethnic names.
I mean, New York, who has a regular name? If you see a black nigga named Richard in New York, it's like, word. You come here to gentrify? Richard Wright. Richard Wright.
New York.
Richard Wright.
Who's writing books?
Hey, Toussaint. I said, I watched 2 hours of No Jumper clips, and now I understand black conservatives' frustration.
You got the black fatigue.
I was like, damn, how you watch just 2 hours? That's like one movie's worth of nigga shit. That's like one Jackie Robinson movie. Yeah. I almost said Jackie Mason.
A little different.
Can you imagine if Jackie Mason played Jackie Robinson? And the Jackie Wilson story?
I'm thinking Jackie Gleason. Let him cook.
Let him cook. This is how Jason curates his algorithm. My algorithm right now is filled with football highlights and football and mad niggerdom right now. And I'm stuck in a fucking whirlpool of niggerish shit because them headlines be kidding me.
Man. No Jumper is intense.
Dude, it is insane. There was a time, and I'm not calling people bitches, but there was a time when words, looks, accidentally bumping, you were gonna die or at least get shot at. We talked about it on that show. Niggas ain't going to prison. The drug game ain't what it used to be. And that's not something to fucking aspire to. I'm just saying it got taken over by major national corporations.
Right.
Ain't nobody who's selling weed from a street dealer. You can go get way better weed and have a nice experience.
I got a plug.
Like, word? You can just go to that place right there. They're everywhere.
She's coming over here.
But it's just when I watch this No Jumper shit, I'm like, why are y'all so mad? Like, what do you have an op for? Like, explain to me your gangster life, because I just don't understand what you do, gangster man.
I put cash in an empty Nike box. That's what I do. All I do is win, win, win.
Especially because so many people, like, if you're in the illegal economy, you're probably using crypto and maybe other peer-to-peer payment systems. So it's like, give me the money. I don't really have any cash on me.
Might have to liquidate some things.
Somebody came up to me and was like, hey man, like, give me you know how like homeless people in the city, or you don't know, but in San Francisco they're like really aggressive. And I love just showing them my wallet. I'm like, hey man, I don't have any American money, but I got like 50 pesos.
You open your wallet and
I open my wallet and show them so you can see I'm not bullshitting. And like, well, how much is that worth? I was like, right now, like $2.35. And then they just leave me alone. Then they want to like give me.
They want to give you money.
I'm like, say, brother, it looks like you on hard times. Mr. Purple Money having man.
Afros going to straighten their hair. And straighten their hair is going to be trying to wear afros. Where's your capris, Jason?
I am wearing shorts today. I had shorts on the other day, and Alex, he's in the chat. If you guys want to, if you guys have any kayfabe questions, Alex, you should ask him. We had a great fucking session. I'm like, God, I'm saying the wrong things all the time today. Brainstorm. That could be. We have an outline.
Yes, that's good. Fishlook wants to know, who is the man of podcasting? That would be Adam 22.
Oh, it was like me.
You.
I'm the man of left podcasting. Maybe. Adam 22 is he did a thing that was so fucking funny. This dude was like, you need to, basically he said something rude to somebody, which is he was all junked out for a while on that show too. And the dude was like basically telling him that he had apologized. And he did say sorry, but then the dude just kept talking. And I'm like, well, shoot him. if you're that mad, just do like you're not you're gonna try to scare him. Okay, well, he's got goons, you got goons. I mean, what do you want to do here? You want to have a fucking meeting of the minds over fucking bullshit? Over words? Who gives a shit? And Adam 22 wouldn't back down. He was like, no, I'm not gonna. And eventually Adam 22 was like, no, I don't give a shit what you say. And dude was like, we should take this outside and fight. Adam goes, I'm not gonna fight you. He goes, I'll have you removed with my security.
Oh my gosh.
He's like, you have guns, we have guns. Like, you can't get in here with guns because we have metal detectors and you're patted down before you walk in the door. So he has a certain hubris when talking to these people that you would think would get him murdered. But then you even find out where the show is. So Alex looked up where the show was and he was like, dude, this shit is like in Hollywood. It's the most, it's like, it's not. Look, I'm sure there's people on this show that have done real time. I'm sure there's people on this show that have done real crimes. But, you know, Come on, dude.
But didn't that show start out at a store?
Yep.
It was like the back room of the store. So
The back
yeah,
room store.
stores
Yeah.
in Hollywood.
But it was really fucking funny when you watch him go like, I'm not gonna fight you. I'm gonna get this person here. It was like they have a gun and they'll handle it. He got a gun pulled on him on the show, on a stream. A kid like snuck in a door, and it was a SoundCloud rapper.
Of course.
And apparently the gun wasn't real.
Gotta love it.
He pointed a not real gun at him. That kid could, if it was,
Yeah.
who got shot? Like, that's where we are with hip hop. And we have to be honest about that. That a lot of these are just fables from 30 years ago. The moment is gone. I was watching the thing again from the universe of No Jumper about Bloods and Crips, and there was an album called Bangin' on Wax in the early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
There was a song that used the Computer Love sample called Pyru Love, and they were saying in the song that the people that did the song are all dead.
Ugh.
And they were talking about, well, actually one of them died in a car accident, so it was actually kind of sad. Another person died of cancer, so it wasn't even like they died violent hood deaths, but there were several people that were dead that were a part of that album. But times were starting to change a little bit, things that's around the time of the truce.
Mm-hmm.
And there were certain rules people had to follow to just record those things.
Yeah.
And it didn't last long. And if you think about NWA, saying fuck the police really isn't a political statement. It just means you don't want to be bothered by law enforcement. That's not political.
Mm-hmm.
You can project that it's political if you want to, and a lot of people did, and a lot of niggas wrote dissertations on hip hop and fuck the police like it was the most revolutionary moment in the world, and it really wasn't, because look at those cats now, hey, the ones that are alive. And what the industry saw is that this is viable in a way that this other shit isn't. It wasn't that Africa medallions were making niggas more positive, because the music still existed.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this other shit sold. Same way all your Italian friends like to act like they're mob affiliated.
Mm-hmm.
I got an Uncle Joey, and he's no, he's not. He's Joey, he owns the deli. He's fine. He's a good guy. But you get actual gang members, right? Like we're going to do one better than NWA, who aren't real gang members. We're going to get real fucking gang members. And we'll do a whole album with real gang members. Well, there's a problem with that. They're not musicians. They're not artistes. They spent their time doing hood rat shit, as the young Latarian said, right? He was doing hood rat shit with their friends.
That's
He
what's
wasn't
up.
worried about writing rhymes. So when I hear shit now, like, me and Alex are talking about this, I was like, but and I've said this before on the show, 30 years ago doesn't sound revolutionary. When I say the 80s, you go Flock of Seagulls. Right? There's a sound for the 80s for you. If I say the 70s, you go disco. Maybe you go punk rock. But there's a sound for you. There's a look for you. When you think of, again, Back to the Future, and he has a Walkman and little headphones and plays Van Halen for his father, and he's just wearing a slicker. That's got to look frightening. Of course, that's going to look like, White is on the moon. But what are you going to play for me in my 1995 years from 2025 that's going to make me go, oh, what is this even music? There's nothing. There's not
Little
one
Yachty?
genre. Say again?
Little Yachty, Poland.
There's not one song you're gonna play.
That's the one with the walk.
But you know what I mean, though, Toussaint? There's
Yeah.
nothing anyone's gonna play for you to be like, oh, that's not rap. What is this? Is this something different? No. The gangster shit to me sounds like gangster shit that we used to laugh at 30 years ago. And now and for whatever reason, it's just popular. But it's not different. Big Rojo.
I think what happened is like, I don't know, the year 94, 95, whenever Biggie dropped his album or whatever. He set the blueprint for how a rapper has to be. You have to have songs for the dudes, and then you need some joints for the ladies. And it takes a guy like Drake to just push that formula all the way to the wall. And it's what sells. It's what has been selling for all of this time. And it only seems like now the formula is starting to change. People are saying that Kendrick Lamar has a different formula. It's called mid-range.
Oh my
I don't know
God.
if you've heard of
Kendrick Lamar, we were talking about this the other day. He sampled Debbie Deb. When I hear music,
Yeah.
That song never stopped getting played in California.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
He slowed it down. It's a little more danceable that you can do this too, right? We talked about the side to side movement that you could do in the 80s and 90s and 70s and 60s. You know, really goes the way of the dodo by the 90s, where you have to have choreographed moves to do any sort of dancing. But taking something exactly, again, that's not new.
Yeah.
We've been
And
sampling for 30, 40 years.
a lot of older heads will tell you that either they're not impressed by Kendrick or they think that he sounds like some middle of the road 90s rapper. Like everybody sounded like this in the 90s.
That's what I say. So that's what a buddy told me. Because he had done a song with Kendrick actually. And I was like, who's this Kendrick Lamar? Who's this Kendrick? I said, did you do a song with Kendrick Lamar? He goes, yeah. And he goes, who is he? He goes, you heard, and he pointed to the Tribe. He used to work at a record store. He goes, you know Tribe and all of them, right? I was like, yeah. He goes, then you heard it. You heard Kendrick Lamar. I think for some people, he's a continuation of that and a little different for whatever reason, because he embodies a certain hood element that those people did not have because they were so bourgeois in their upbringing. And I don't say that as an insult to them at all. I just think it was a new element to that music that a lot of bourgeois black people that went to college appreciated. I watched a documentary on Daz Effects recently. I think I mentioned it on the Saturday show. And they met in college, and that was a common theme with a lot of 90s hip-hop people meeting in college. And they were rather old when they finally hit. They weren't like 18, 19, 20. They were in their mid-20s. So I think rap is, again, a younger person's game again, like it was for that moment in the 90s where you had to be a little younger to cross over and get some sort of I don't know, status. I don't know the word. Because a 50-year-old man or a 40-some-year-old man that sounds exactly like a 20-some-year-old man is not going to hit.
Well, I don't know. I think it helps if you have started when you're younger, but people are talking about how the average age of a hot rapper is much older now than it used to be. Kendrick's in his mid-30s, Drake too, Clips is older, and you have Kanye. Who else?
I'll remove the word
Kanye's
hot. Let's remove the word hot, because now we can say something that we never said in hip-hop: establishment.
You think they're establishment?
Yeah, they're established artists in the
Adult
genre.
contemporary hip hop.
Yeah, that didn't exist in 1991 because we didn't know what establishment was, because we didn't know how long anyone's career was going to be. Paul Stanley said something real interesting. Someone asked him, because the Kiss sold the rights to their music for $350 million. They sold everything. Said, and Paul Stanley said with a smile, he goes, "We sold all of it."
Oh, wow.
He goes, "He's like, did you think you were going to be in the business for 50 some years?" And he goes, "No, because we didn't know what the business was. We didn't know how long it was going to last." He goes, "Rock and roll was still relatively new." He goes, the Beatles only lasted what, like 8 years?
Mm-hmm.
So if we could get 4 years, we were like, wow, we made it. So no one knew you could stay in the business forever. We didn't know the longevity the Rolling Stones were going to have. We didn't know. And that's what hip hop was for a long time. You didn't know, because the people that were on top in 84, let's just say 86. What does hip hop look like in 86? There's a young Aaron B. Rakim. There's a young Big Daddy Kane. There's Run DMC's on their second full album. The Fat Boys are already done by 86. All the novelty shit is done.
Right.
By 1990, are those people doing the same size rooms? Do they have the same sort of cultural relevance within the genre? So you really don't know. By 95, did you really give a shit about Down with the King?
I like Down with the King. They slid in that Jesus stuff.
You know, name another song on that record.
None. Got nothing for you.
And that's a full album. It wasn't a single.
Sure
and I
was.
say all that. I'm not shitting on these albums like they're bad records. I'm just saying that there's everyone had a shelf life. LL had kind of lived beyond his shelf life to a certain extent because he was able to reinvent himself. And what did those dudes all do? They pivoted to television.
Right.
If you could, you did.
Right. Absolutely.
So Kendrick, Drake, Clips, Kanye, who else is still extremely relevant? Eminem. Dre to a certain extent. Dre's name still has value as a producer.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think they're establishment rap artists that everybody wants to be like. Just like Metallica's an establishment rock band.
Yellow diamonds look like pee-pee.
Jesus Christ, I hate your face. See what I deal with? You guys see what I deal with?
Drea asked Alex Michelle if he has run into any holes. And he said no, but thank you for reminding me to sue Jason.
I thought he was going to run into one. We're walking back.
Really?
And he goes, I saw it.
Fool me once. Can't get fooled again.
Well, thank you very much, guys, for the birthday wishes. I truly appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I get to my voice. Save Alex.
Alex, blink twice if you need help.
Someone says, when are we watching Nothing But Trouble? Oh, that sounds like fun. Well, tomorrow we're going to be watching a movie. So if you want to join us for movie night tomorrow, we're going to watch one of my favorite films, Better Off Dead. You should join us for that. I gave you the link, Toussaint, so you can join us. You probably won't, but
I don't know. We'll see. Got to keep them guessing.
Oh, everyone's going to be so happy if you're there.
Say, look at your vines.
See, give me some fans you be wearing.
It's a vine. That's just so great.
When my girl was talking, I was said something. She goes, I hear the person right that got their hand in the swan position. When she said that shit, I fell the fuck out. She said the swan position. She does that equally well. Look here, Jack. Sire says it's Alex Jason, gentlemen.
Alex is the gentleman of the house.
I've said so much accidental gay shit today.
It's hilarious, though.
I was on a tour. I tour managed a tour and said so much accidental gay shit that the band in their liner notes for their album that came out thanked me as Jason. It's tighter than it looks, Miles.
Hey. Trust me. It's tighter than it looks. They used to call me the Richmond Plunger.
Someone says, whatever, Coco Ball.
Jason likes the bloop bloops.
I remember we were trying to pack the van. I don't think we towed the trailer. I think we were trying to pack everything in the van. And they're like, oh, we can put it. I was like, no, you can't put it in there. And this doesn't make me sound better. I was like, you can't put it in there. It's tighter than it looks. And I remember we were pulled over on the side of the road in Nevada, somewhere between Vegas and Reno. If you've ever been in that drive, it's just nowhere. And everyone was like rolling around on the ground laughing at me. They're like, you gotta stop, man.
No, you can't put it in there.
No, it's not gonna fit. It's not gonna fit. You can't put it in there. It's tighter than it looks. I know you think you can fit it, but it's tighter than it looks. Yeah. I feel like if I see those people, I haven't seen those guys in years. If I saw them, they would just see me and start laughing.
Yeah.
Bad Lefty said that's what he said. Nuri says, you have a good prison pocket then. Oh,
Yikes.
Yikes. I did this too dry.
No.
I was thinking about having those guys on. But I was like, no, because they're going to get carried away and tell all the things that actually happened on that tour. That's no one needs to hear any of those words live on air. I'm not saying any of those words on the champagne room.
Yeah.
No, I'm not having those guys. Oh, remember that time we went to... Nope.
Remember that time we went to Cracker Barrel? Nope. Not the Cracker Barrel story. Y'all tell the one about the Waffle House. No.
Spit on it, you savage. Oh man. Yeah, because that was just horror. Like there's things. Yep. No, these guys cannot come on. No.
What is even that about?
The most maniacal laugh just went off in the living room because this thing. Maybe this is why Jason loves buff midget ladies. They're not buff. They're thick. I'm so mad that you guys were making fun of the Richmond Plunge.
That is the most hilarious thing I have ever heard.
It just sounds like I'm sorry you went swimming where?
Yeah. In my younger days, they used to call me the
Someone was really nice and left a voice message, and I was terrified to listen to it because I didn't know if it was going to just be some you long titty loving black ass,
Oh, God.
goofy butt having ass, liking ass. I was like, oh man, but it was just they just sang happy birthday in a wacky voice, and I was like,
So nice. Oh, Jason.
Mike Gray says the fire next time. Someone left some old school pics of you and the gang on Patreon. Oh, I have to look at that.
Oh.
Ask her where it is. Ask her where it is. Let's go see it.
And that's why you need to become a patron.
That's why you have to become a patron. I didn't get a notification. Patreon also hella lags on their notifications.
Hmm.
First of all, these are oh my, I'm so mad at you people. Look what these niggas did. Look, look. I am so mad at Teray Reed because his hair is like that.
Yeah.
Oh
Look at the
my
pineapple
God.
short.
Oh my God. And that's you.
That's me. My shoe? What's going on?
What's
I'm a
funny?
brute.
What's funny is the shorts are okay. This is unacceptable.
What?
Is that Mac? Oh,
That's Mac.
you know.
Why do you look naked in
my
this?
God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
You're doing the Kim Kardashian and you're like
Oh
wearing
my
a nude color. So you look naked from far away.
somebody says the lightsaber makes the chef kiss. I'm so mad they gave Dre a Canva. It's in the the first pick was Jazz Fusion cover art. Kush looks as that the Richmond sucker or whatever.
Pascal.
Damn, they gave Pascal hair. You guys are so funny. Seriously, all jokes aside, it's a blessing to be able to do this show. Nathan is right. You know, this is an amazing fucking audience. You know, watch him on any other show. When does he say that?
Right.
So there's something about what we've been able to put together to people that have stuck around for however long they stuck around for. I love it. It's a beautiful thing. There's no words that I can put in as like how excited I am for just what we're about to do in the future. And I love you guys. I really do. I really do. As tired as I am.
Aren't you gonna have to drive?
I do. I have a 6-hour drive ahead of me. I have 3 hours to take this Nicklet home and 3 hours back.
Nicklet.
He's a really good kid and super fucking smart, and it's been a pleasure to have him around. And just, you know, the brainstorming of ideas, I had to say it all out at once. The outline that he put together from our conversation for the next few episodes is pretty good, because again, we had to chop everything up that we did for the whole thing and slow it down a little bit for these episodes. And I'm so excited to get working on part 2.
Yay.
So be excited, people. We're actually going to do it. We're going to do it, Joe. I've been yelling at him all the whole time. We did it, Joe.
Yeah. You and Madura.
I know Madura. I know niggers. Niggers, Madura. Chinamans. I know Chinamans.
Oh.
If you are black and still say Chinaman, you're not just racist, but you probably experienced Jim Crow.
Yes. Yes. You are from Sinners. You left the juke joint.
There's no excuse for you to refer to those people as Orientals or
Nope.
Chinaman.
Yeah.
No excuse.
None.
Yeah. So I'm mad to see you be yelling boy at me the whole time. I don't think I have.
Hilarious.
Okay. When I was a lifeguard in Caracas. Oh man. AAPPI. AAPPI used to be so hard to spell. Toussaint, thank you for
Wow.
this.
It's a macro aggression.
You know it's bad? If I ever have to spell Mississippi if I'm writing something, I literally go, yes, I am. China X. That's like a light skinned rapper. There's some light skin. There's a okay. I will shut up. We could go down the again. I watched all that No Jumper and No Jumper adjacent shit.
Yikes.
I'm finna have the podcast like that one go. Black people with their pants sagging down below their buttocks, exposing soiled underwear.
Oh. Yellow in front, brown in back.
Yeah, dude, it's so dude. The amount of Little Brazzy No Jumper we watched is like the safest part of that show.
Really?
Oh my god.
It's I saw just where he talks about his kid.
Really? Brazzy
Yeah.
talks about his kid because he's got a kid.
Yeah, Brazzy talks about his kid. They bring it up. He was like I knew he was mine because he was fat and he was white. I was like, now you're white. Now you're white. What are you doing?
Drea says, I'm scared. I want to see more. You don't watch more. Like this shit. I thought about like, would it be funny if we did like no, it wouldn't be because it's really depressing. It's just these people acting so horrible. Because we think we showed the Kelpie the pimp thing.
Yeah.
But he said he was a Party City pimp. Like
the cops didn't circle back yet.
Like, dude, wait, the cops busted you and you're just here talking to everybody right now?
Just hanging out.
Just right cool like that? Because that's not usually how that works. They're Kelpie. And they're arguing. I watched one argument. It was just two niggas yelling over each other about who was the real pimp. And the other dude was talking about the digital pivot to OnlyFans.
Right.
And it's just we can't do it. Like we could think we can do it. It's like you can't do it.
Yeah.
It's like that episode of the Boondocks where Huey watched nothing but BET for like 24 hours and he had like bags under his eyes. I mean, I woke up looking for purple Kool-Aid. It was bad, dude. It was bad. But let's watch some cartoons on the way out because this was kind of beautiful. A
Nice.
beautiful evening.
Mm-hmm.
I banned you from doing a surprise party.
Yes, I am prevented from doing a This Is Your Life, Jason Miles.
This is my life. Yeah, but bringing my mom on or something like that.
Yeah. Got a top last year.
God, that's oof. That would be hilarious. Thank you, Toussaint. You're fucking a little chocolate angel.
Oh, thank you, Jason. I hope you have a happy birthday for the hours you have left.
Good night.
Good night.